Sometimes the love of one person isn't enough. A kinky sex party turns into payback.
That was the last time he was going to disappoint her.
A roving eye ends a red-hot romance.
She'd been abandoned by this man she'd poured a lot of time and love into.
And family bonds mean nothing to an adulteress.
I may not be able to live without him, but I can live without you.
For these deadly women, romance is complicated when lover makes three.
This is the story of a way less than perfect marriage. These two together couldn't make it work. She snapped.
In a bar just outside Charlotte, North Carolina, two drifters find each other. 33-year-old Crystal Vernon and 31-year-old Giovanni Gambino.
Crystal's professional life left a lot to be desired. The most successful thing she ever did was put a band together.
Very nice. I like your music.
Really? You don't look the type.
He was charming, nice, this macho type of man who pumped himself up.
The name's Gio. Gio Gambino. Heard the name before?
No.
But he relished the idea that people believed that he was a member of the Gambino crime family.
The Gambinos. Famous New York crime family?
I'm Crystal.
Some think he actually even believed it.
Can I buy you a drink?
Sure.
Far from connected, Gio is simply an everyday guy. But his charm soon lands Crystal and a family.
And they have a little girl, beautiful little girl.
How's she doing?
But you know what? This is not the ideal American family.
The pair share a passion for indulgence
Work it? Yeah. Oh, that's good.
in sex and drugs.
We know that cocaine was probably something they used frequently.
And when they get bored with each other, they go looking for friends.
They were both known to participate in group sex parties.
Should I post it?
Yeah. Go, baby.
Done.
But when the parties are over, reality bites. All that fun costs money. And their wine importing business isn't going well.
Did you seriously only sell 9 crates last month?
Well, how many did you sell?
To run a business, you've got to get up and go to work and work very hard every day, and he never had that part.
Not being able to pay the bills just adds more stress to a relationship. And these two together couldn't make it work.
You've set us broke, you idiot!
Don't you ever speak to me like that again.
Get off me! You're dirty!
We did get numerous calls out to the residents over the years, fighting, arguing. It was not uncommon to go out there.
What a businessman you are. You're a failure!
As the pair become regulars on police radar, friends and relatives are concerned.
He was violent toward her, but we believe that she could be violent back.
Crystal wasn't seen by others as a perfect person. In fact, her own brother to whom she was the closest, described her as a little bit crazy.
More good news from the bank.
Let's not fight. About a little fun.
But there's still a way for the pair to forget their differences. These swingers turn to new partners when things get rough.
At the same time as they were having this big fight, they were sending messages to line up Monday morning. So this was all of the chaos of their marriage.
He wants to be somebody he's not. He likes to live in a fantasy world. It's what he thrives on.
Tomorrow morning, after the school run.
They exchanged nude pictures, and Giovanni said, "Come on over. We'll have a foursome, and I'll pay you with drugs. It'll be fun."
On top of the financial, the marriage problems, emotional problems, the violence, add one more layer to this: sex. Could things get any more volatile?
In Alexis, North Carolina, on February 29, 2016, Crystal and Giovanni Gambino think a private orgy is the perfect distraction from their marriage woes.
Ladies first.
39-year-old Jeffrey Gilliland and 33-year-old Stephanie Sanchez join the party. Usually, the couple share their new friends, but today, Giovanni changes the rules.
Ready to have some fun? Come on, big guy.
Crystal is rubbing her hands together. She's waiting in a bathrobe, waiting to participate in this group sex and the drugs and the drinking and the party.
Baby, come.
No.
What do you mean no?
No, wait your turn.
When Crystal was told that she was not going to be a part of the threesome, she snapped.
That was it. That was the last time he was gonna disappoint her. Crystal is beside herself. The rage is building up in her. She needs to do something.
She went and got a gun and a box of shells.
Disappointed and disrespected. For Crystal, it's the last straw.
Wait a minute. You're in the threesome with my husband and another man, and I have to wait outside? She couldn't deal with it.
When Crystal opened fire, there was little hope of them getting out of the room because Crystal was standing in the doorway.
And her gun held 5 rounds. When those were gone, she reloaded. When those 5 were gone, she reloaded again.
If you reload, at some point you have to stop and think, what am I doing? And that didn't deter her. She kept going.
No, Crystal, please. No, Crystal. Just think about it. What are you gonna do? Please don't do it, Crystal. No, Crystal, don't.
She had to be extremely angry.
Giovanni is shot in the neck and upper torso. Jeff is shot in the upper torso. But it was Stephanie who got the most of it. She got 8 rounds in her.
Just to show that she wasn't totally awful, she put a pillow under dead Giovanni's head.
But Crystal has no such respect for Stephanie.
She put her in a wheelbarrow, took her outside, and threw her in the fire pit, covered her up. The thinking goes something like this: I'm a woman. I should have been in that scenario, not you. She leaves the 2 male bodies there, but tries to destroy the female.
With 2 bodies still in her bedroom, Crystal is out of time before the school pickup.
This took most of the day, and she had to go get her daughter from school.
Buying for time, Crystal takes her daughter to her brother's house.
How are you? Oh, I missed you.
And after the pleasantries of hello, she says,
What's up?
I killed Gio.
I killed Giovanni. And his response was, oh, yes, sure, you're always saying that. And she said, no, I did.
I'm serious. I need you to look after her.
Crystal.
And he could tell from the way she said it that she was serious.
Crystal!
In disbelief, her family notifies the police, who soon find an unusually willing suspect.
She was very calm. She just had a distant look in her eyes. Everything she told us turned out to be true. Not every day you find 3 bodies where someone says, I just killed 3 people.
She knew that what she had done was murder, and she knew that punishment was waiting. She was somewhat resolved to that.
Crystal Gambino pleads guilty to manslaughter and 2 counts of second-degree murder. She is sentenced to 29 years in prison.
By killing all the participants, she solved the problem, and she was willing to pay for it.
She had to act out. It was the only way to release that pressure valve inside of her. Turn it on, let the steam out. And in this case, the steam was 15 rounds from a .44 Magnum.
She lost everything. She was desperate. It looks like jealousy, but I think it was more punishment. You hurt me, now I'm gonna hurt you.
In California, 1885, life in the Old West is only for the strong. But 26-year-old saloon entertainer Ada Humes is made of iron.
Ada was raised in a loving family. She was well-educated, bright, and good-looking.
But Ada's gifts hide a broken heart. She's been abandoned by her husband.
Not only was he gone after a while, so was her money. In almost the blink of an eye, she lost everything.
A woman alone was not something you wanted to be in the Old West.
Especially a woman with a child.
Now, shall I put your doll over by the window?
Ada has a daughter, but she needs to keep playing the bars to put food on the table.
It looks just right.
She makes the painful choice to leave her daughter in a convent.
It's okay. You'll be safe here.
When will you be back?
She knew it was hard on the road and wasn't sure what exactly she was going to have to do to make her living.
Okay, it's time for you to go.
Enough for the first month.
I'll see you soon, baby.
The kind of loss Ada suffered would destroy a lot of people's lives to a point where they wouldn't want to leave the house. Not Ada. She was very resourceful.
Ada's good looks and musical talent keep money coming in to pay the bills.
She used this to travel around the southwestern part of the country in Texas, Arizona, New Mexico.
Until she lands in the rough and tumble town of Silver City, New Mexico.
People would come here running away from something. This was a good place to hide. This was a good place to get away from it all.
To Ada's disappointment, women don't have the freedom of California. They're banned from entering saloons.
Well, there ain't no law saying you can't play out here, is there?
Thank you. I promise. You won't regret it.
There was a guy in one of the local saloons who said, you're gonna sit out at the piano on the veranda, I'll open a window into the bar, and you can serenade the customers from there.
She's an instant hit, a novelty in these parts. So Ada thinks about settling down.
While in Silver City, Ada made a friend who was a known prostitute.
Well, here's to a happy home together. That is, until we find the man of our dreams.
Her name was Claude Lewis, and they shared a house in the outskirts of town.
Ada doesn't mind spending time in questionable company.
Ada's lifestyle involves spending a lot of time with women who spend time in saloons, making money from men.
Who's around tonight? There's one for you.
But Ada isn't so much looking for money. She has her piano for that.
Ooh, he is handsome.
She's looking for love.
He is looking at you.
Blackjack Brown was a Monte dealer in the Sentinel Saloon, and he was always there for a good time and had a roaming eye.
Howdy. How are you?
Very well. What's your name?
My name's Ada. What's yours?
Jack.
Jack. Nice to meet you, Jack.
Sparks must have flown pretty much right away because it didn't take long for them to begin an affair.
It's open. Hey there, handsome.
Allie's the most beautiful girl I've ever seen.
Better now that you're here.
Blackjack Brown seems like a promising catch. But once again, Ada's chosen the wrong man.
He was married and had a family, and he was also a scoundrel.
I wish you could stay the night.
You know I can't do that.
But why?
Women have a tendency of falling for the bad boy, and Ada fell right into his trap.
I've got to go.
Jack is a wild card, but Ada believes he can be tamed.
Where is he? Oh, he's a man who knows. I want this one to work. I think he'd be a great father. A real family.
Ada wanted to believe in Jack.
I think he's the one.
She wanted a man in her life.
Finally. And what time do you call this? We're running late. Let me get my shawl.
In her future, Ada sees a home on the prairie and faithful husband.
You got a drink for me?
But Jack already has a family to feed, and the town is starting to gossip.
I can't stay. Gotta get home.
But Jack, we always...
I'm sorry.
I believe that Jack probably felt that Ada was getting a little too close, and he wanted to back away.
Ada felt him pulling away from her.
You know he's married, don't you?
It was one thing to have an affair that flew under the radar. It was another one to conduct something so public that there was gossip about it in town.
But Ada doesn't want to lose her man a second time.
Jack may have been slick, but he wasn't very smart.
February 19th, 1889. Ada Hume's worst fears come true.
I wish to break off all further familiarity.
The love of her life, Jack Brown, dumps her.
So he did sort of the 19th century equivalent of a text message. He sent her a note via a messenger, breaking up with her.
Shh. Hey, now, you don't need him. I just don't know where it all went wrong. It's just man, huh?
Ada thinks her lover's wife has reined him in. The next knock on the door sets her straight.
Jack didn't break up with Ada to become a straight, honest, good husband.
Afternoon, ma'am. This is for Claude Lewis.
I hope yours is better news.
He had his eye on another lady, Ada's flatmate, Claude.
To my new favorite lady, meet me at the Centennial Saloon tonight. Yours, Jack.
It was like being slapped in the face.
Ada was devastated by her friend's note and the fact that Jack had moved on so quickly.
It's tough enough for anyone to be passed over by a lover, but to have that lover take up with a good friend is really pouring salt in the wound. Because of the abandonment that Ada suffered, it's no wonder she went a little nuts when Jack broke up with her, too.
You're coming with me.
It might have been a warning. This is what will happen if somebody I love wants to be with you.
Well, if there's gonna be trouble, I won't go.
There won't be trouble.
Ada, why don't we get a drink?
Claude's still hoping to calm Ada down. And she said, look, let's just have a drink.
Ada wasn't having it and went straight over to where Jack was playing cards.
It must have been galling, really, because she's just had this huge emotional turmoil over their relationship. And he's sitting there like he doesn't have a care in the world.
Ada made the decision to kill Jack in about 5 seconds. She didn't care who saw what she was about to do. She pulled out her gun and pointed it at Jack. You broke my heart, now I'm gonna destroy yours.
Wait, no.
I'm gonna kill you, Jack!
The bullet pierces Black Jack's heart.
Unbelievable shot. If she wasn't playing piano, she probably could have been Annie Oakley.
Leaving a saloon full of witnesses, Ada hides under the bed of a friendly prostitute.
The women in the saloons were always a close-knit group because they were shunned by the respectable women of the town.
We know you're in there, Miss Holmes. You can't hide. Everyone saw what you did.
And like everything is just fine, and Ada's life just collapsed as far as she's concerned.
She ain't here.
Ada pleads temporary insanity.
Come on, little lady.
Get off of me! I didn't do it! I'm innocent!
Ada claimed not to remember anything from the time she read Jack's goodbye letter until she ended up in jail. I highly doubt that's true.
During her murder trial, Ada does what she knows best. She charms the court.
Ada was a professional performer. She knew how to work the room, and she did. She worked the jury.
In 1889, Ada Humes receives just 3 years for manslaughter. And for an encore, is released after only serving 2. For her audience in Silver City, justice is served.
I toast to getting out of prison.
A scoundrel gets his comeuppance, and the town gets back its piano player.
Ada celebrates her release by going out on the town, visiting brothels and bar rooms with a 2-time convicted horse thief. I'm a little skeptical about how changed Ada was.
These 2 lovers lived under the same roof with the entire family. Illicit affairs can be very exciting and very invigorating.
Where are you? Hi, Mom.
Right up to the moment when someone gets murdered.
In Luton, England, there's a quiet celebration. Saima and husband Hafez Rahman are finally moving out of the family home, where 3 generations have lived since they all moved from Pakistan.
Seems to have, in fact, despite the crowding, have been a very happy household.
You'll have more elbow room soon.
I bet you will miss my cooking.
Mom is pleased for the couple and their 4 children. But Saima's younger sister, Sabah, is not.
But why do you have to move?
There isn't enough room for us anymore in this house.
Do you want to leave?
I love you all, but we need our own home.
The move is disturbing a deep secret.
You can visit any time.
That's been hiding in plain sight. Over the years, the busy couple have worked hard, but separate hours, to get ahead. Hafez as a taxi driver, and Saima as a caregiver.
You sure you're warm enough?
I could use a cup of tea to warm me up.
Maybe even a biscuit too?
Oh, you read my mind.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a couple of...
She was a very kind and caring person who had a number of elderly clients who she went out to see at all hours.
While she's at work, Auntie Sabah takes good care of the children.
Sabah was a great support in terms of looking after the children. I think she very much viewed herself as a second mother to those children.
You're so good with the children.
I love them, like they're my own.
But things have become complicated.
I'll tell her to go back to sleep.
Me too.
She didn't have a big social life. She didn't have a lot of experience of life in general. So, in a way, Hafiz became her knight in shining armor.
Do you want some company?
The secret relationship has been going on for several years.
Saima was too trusting.
There was no way that she imagined she could be so deeply betrayed.
Most couples having an illicit affair have a hard time sneaking away to meet each other. These two people lived under the same roof.
Where are you?
Hey, Mom. Do you want some tea?
The tougher it was, the more secret they had to be, the hotter it was.
Over time, the couple find an illicit routine.
Their relationship wasn't one mistake. It was an ongoing, torrid love affair.
For Hafez, it's the best of both worlds.
He had the older sister who'd provided him with 4 children. Then he had the younger sister, more energetic, more prepared to have sex with him.
He wanted to keep them both all to himself.
But his cozy arrangement is about to become uncomfortable.
Saba must have been just very mixed and confused when she found out she was pregnant.
Hafez secretly searches for a solution. Polygamy is legal in his home country.
I'll seek permission for both of you to be my wives.
Hafiz did inquire whether he could take Saba as a second wife. And he was told that it was against the religion to be married to sisters at the same time.
Sabah, please, I tried. It's not permitted.
I'm sure she wanted a family of her own, but obviously in the circumstances, she couldn't.
Fearing their secret will be exposed, Sabah takes drastic action. She terminates the pregnancy.
That must have been very difficult for her. Her own sister had just had 4 children by the same man.
It seems Sabah will do anything to keep her sister's husband.
If you ever try and break up, I'll...
Saba Khan was a disaster waiting to happen.
Luton, England, 2016. 27-year-old Sabah Khan's world is falling apart. Her illicit relationship with her sister's husband, Hafez, has already led to a pregnancy termination. And now, her lover is growing cold.
Why don't you come join us?
Sabah wanted more than Hafiz. She wanted her sister's life. She wanted the happy marriage and the home and the kids.
She's been really grumpy lately.
She wanted all of that entirely for herself, without her sister in the way.
Mom, we found the perfect home.
I think he decided that he'd better withdraw, perhaps. He'd better give his attention back to his own wife, Saima, and his 4 children.
Hafez thinks it's time to move on.
Come look.
Looks great.
When Hafiz and Sabah's sister were going to move out, Sabah saw her world crumbling, her dream over.
Hafiz, will you help me move this box out here?
Of course he will.
Please, Hafiz. I beg you. Leave her. Be with me.
It's over. We're over.
She was devastated.
Look at the windows.
Saba saw that she was losing him, and she became very obsessed with that thought, and he wanted very much to do something about it. Saba would message him over and over and over, and there would be no response from him.
You okay? I showed Mum this.
She saw a whole world crumbling before her eyes. And as a result, she decided that she had to do something drastic to stop it.
On the night of May 23rd, 2016, Sabah sees the perfect opportunity.
Tell them I'm sorry I can't be there.
Hafez and her parents head out to attend a funeral, while Saima is off to work again.
The kids are sleeping upstairs. I hope they don't give you too much trouble.
No, they'll be fine.
She first of all Googled, how long does the Muslim funeral service take?
Then she puts on a black outfit with rubber gloves.
The children are sound asleep. But that's not what she tells her sister.
She then started sending text messages to Saima, imploring her to come home, telling her that the baby was crying.
So, of course, Siama left work and sped home.
Hello? Where is everybody?
So when the key goes into the door and the front door opens, Saba lets leash her fury in the most appalling manner.
Where is everybody?
It only takes one well-placed stab wound to kill someone, but that isn't what Sabah wanted. And she unleashed what appeared to be years of rage and hatred.
As Saima turned and tried to cover herself with her left arm, she proceeded to stab her over and over again on the shoulders, on the back, on the belly. She went right through her neck, cutting both the jugular vein and the carotid artery.
Saima is stabbed 68 times.
Whenever there are stab wounds to the face, the neck, it is deeply personal. Sabah even stabbed her in the skull.
Sabah didn't just want to kill her sister, she wanted to obliterate her existence.
The family will be home soon. Sabah has to clean up and create her alibi. She punches in a window to stage a robbery. After stashing her bloody clothes in her bedroom, she makes a call.
Mum, you need to come home. Simon's been hurt. Someone's broken in.
When the police arrive, Sabah plays the innocent.
When I came down, I saw her there, covered in glass.
Her family arrives home to a nightmare.
It's Saima. She's been
The attack on Saima was one of the most ferocious I've ever seen by one human being on another.
And it's the fury of the attack that makes police suspicious.
The story didn't fit the scene. A burglar would never stab anyone 68 times.
Sabah has also been careless.
What happened to your arm? She had glass all over her. I was just hugging her.
It didn't take Sherlock Holmes to work out she was their #1 suspect. She even had glass in her hand from where she'd smashed the window to make it look like a burglary that had gone wrong.
And as soon as authorities check her phone, the lover's secret is exposed. In 2017, Sabah Khan pleads guilty to murder and is sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 22 years.
When Sabah killed her sister, she was unleashing almost 5 years of pent-up hostility, jealousy, anger, resentment.
Sabah chose to destroy what she couldn't have, a happy family.
Love triangles can be very dangerous. In this case, the most innocent person in the triangle was the one that was murdered.
These deadly women walked on the wild side. Crystal Gambino's bedroom antics ended 3 lives. Ada Hume's 2-timing lover paid the ultimate price. And Sabah Khan stole her sister's husband and her life. They went from beloved babes to femme fatales when lover makes 3.